Silence is a force, undeniable, potent, and deeply unsettling. But only when it's genuine. The second it turns into just another calculated move, another attempt to provoke a reaction, it crumbles into nothing. It loses its gravity. It becomes just another part of the game, and games? He's already mastered those. Listen carefully. Silence is and always has been powerful. It was never meant to be a symbol of weakness, never meant to be a tool of manipulation. True silence, the kind that stems from complete detachment, the kind that signals real closure, that kind of silence is deafening. It has weight. It makes people second-guess their decisions. It forces them to sit in their own reality without the comfort of knowing they still have hold on you. But here's where most people go wrong. What if he already knows why you're silent? What if he's already predicted this? What if, instead of feeling your absence, he's feeling nothing at all, because deep down he knows you're still there waiting? That's the flaw in the plan. You've been told that silence will make him miss you, that disappearing will haunt him, that the act of pulling away will stir something inside of him and bring him back. But what if I told you that he already knew this move was coming? That he saw it before you even made it? That instead of feeling unsettled by your absence, he's sitting back, completely at ease, because he's been here before? He's seen it play out before. Maybe not with you, but with others. He knows the pattern, and he's confident that eventually you'll break first. And that's the thing. He's not feeling the silence the way you are. You're sitting there waiting for the shift, waiting for the regret, waiting for the moment where he suddenly realizes what he lost. But him? He's comfortable. He's confident. He's not haunted by your absence because he knows you're still emotionally present. He doesn't fear losing you because in his mind he hasn't. But before I tell you how to completely shift the power dynamic, do me a favor. Wake up. Because the truth is about to change the way you see everything. The game of chess. Why your silence isn't a surprise. Picture this. You think you're making a strategic move. You step back, you stop reaching out, you cut off communication, expecting that this will be the moment where the realization hits him. You believe it's a powerful play, the one move that will turn the tide. But what if he's already memorized every move on the board? What if this isn't a shock to him? What if he knows the exact moment you'll cave? What if he's just sitting there waiting, knowing exactly when he'll check your phone, stare at his name, battle with your own emotions, and eventually give in? Because let's be real. How many times have you done this? How many times have you gone silent, thinking this was the moment he'd feel your absence? How many times have you counted the days, replayed the last conversation in your head, convinced yourself that at any moment he was going to wake up and regret everything? And yet nothing. Not because silence isn't effective, but because he doesn't believe your silence is real. He doesn't feel its weight because he knows you're still attached. He knows you're not really gone. You're just waiting for him to notice. And the second someone knows you're waiting, your silence loses all of its power. I once read a story about a guy who tried this exact move on his ex. He blocked her, went ghost, made sure she knew he was gone. And for months, he stuck to it, believing that she was somewhere out there, losing her mind over his absence. Then one day, she came back, not because she missed him, but because she knew he was still emotionally tethered to her. She wasn't panicked by his silence, she was reassured by it. She said something that stuck with him. "I knew you weren't really gone. You were just waiting for me to come back." And that's when it hit him. His silence didn't make her miss him. It made her confident that she still had power over him. I've been there too. I know what it feels like to think, if I just stop reaching out, he'll finally realize what he had. But here's the reality. He expected it. And the moment I cracked, the moment I sent that one message, that subtle check-in, that small opening, I had already lost. Because the person who breaks first always loses. Silence isn't enough. Here's what actually works. So if silence alone isn't the answer, then what is? You stop using silence as a tactic and start using it as a door that permanently closes. Because true silence, the kind that actually shakes someone, doesn't leave the door open for a possible return. People who truly leave don't do so quietly, they do so with certainty. They don't just disappear and hope to be missed. They become something unrecognizable. They build a life so full, so rich, so far removed from the past that looking back no longer serves them. That is when silence becomes powerful. Not when you're hoping to be chased. Not when you're counting the days until he notices. Not when you're using it as a strategy. It's powerful when it's real. And when it's real, when you're no longer waiting, no longer hoping, no longer wondering if he'll regret his choices. That's when he feels it. Because the day he finally notices, the day he finally reaches out, the day he finally realizes you're actually gone, it will be too late. There's a quote by Nikita Gill that sums it up perfectly. He buried you thinking you were gone. He didn't know you were a seed. Let that sink in. He expects you to wait. He expects you to still be emotionally invested. He expects that even in your silence, you're still lingering in the background, still checking, still hoping. But the moment he realizes you didn't just go quiet, you actually moved on, that's the moment he loses. He's comfortable, not confused. You think he's restless, tormented, playing back memories, drowning in regret. But the truth? He's not. He's fine, relaxed, comfortable. He already knows why you're silent. He's seen this before. He's lived this before. He assumes, just like before, that eventually you'll break first. Imagine this. You were a flame, a source of warmth. He sat in the comfort of your light, taking what he needed without ever thinking twice. Then one day you decide to pull back, thinking, now he'll realize what he had. But instead of scrambling to keep your fire alive, he just leans back because he assumes you'll eventually reignite yourself for him. And that's why he's so comfortable. That's why your silence isn't affecting him the way you want it to. Because real loss, real absence, only stings when there's no certainty of return. And the only way to truly make someone feel your absence, make sure they never get another chance to experience your presence again. So say this out loud: my silence is real. Write it down. Declare it. Own it. Because this is the moment you take your power back.